July 8, 1944, First Lieutenant George Wilson, the pilot of a B-17 Flying Fortress, was killed when his plane was shot down in northern France.
For 80 years, he was considered missing in action, and now his family has some closure. Our Kate Gardner met with Wilson's grandson in an ABC4 News exclusive.
Brian Frank Wilson, First Lieutenant George Frank Wilson's grandson, tells me even though he never met his grandfather, he feels close to him, especially now that the family knows what happened and is preparing to bury him on the 81st anniversary of both his disappearance and death. For 8 decades, one family lived without answers.
It's like the stars are aligning, you know, it's crazy, and I feel his soul. I feel there's a purpose to all of it.
Like the tides of war.
It gives me chills, and I'm very excited about that.
A turning point is bringing relief to First Lieutenant George Frank Wilson's descendants.
When he fell out of formation and everybody was bailing out, one of his closest friends, the engineer, lost his parachute. And I guess Frank was still alive and gave him his parachute, the last one, and told him to get out, and he bailed out.
Brian Wilson says on July 8th, 1944, his grandfather, a young 22-year-old pilot, saved his crew after taking enemy fire.
They were certain he went down with the plane. It exploded. It was on fire. And that was the last of it.
Radio silence. Wilson was declared non-recoverable in 1951. But fast forward to 2018.
Eric Bornemeyer, who we owe a ton of gratitude towards, married my cousin years ago, and he's in the military. He thought this was a cool story, and he went out and, you know, spearheaded a search to find George in this field in northern France. And lo and behold, they found him.
Or at least they hoped. Colorado State University excavated the site in 2021 and 2022. Then last year, Brian Wilson says the government asked for his DNA.
They said there's a 1 in 84 billion chance it's not him. So, pretty positive match, they said.
The family got a full briefing this month and accepted medals, including a Purple Heart, on Lieutenant Wilson's behalf.
And I just feel an immense amount of pride being his grandson. After seeing and receiving those medals and reading the whole accounting, I'm just totally blown away.
And on July 8th, 2025, George Wilson will finally be laid to rest.
To have this all come around 81 years to the day, it's just, there's a higher source that's in control.
He says his grandfather's story is one that's just starting to be told. First Lieutenant Wilson's remains are currently in Omaha, but they'll be brought back to Utah in July ahead of his burial. He'll be laid to rest next to family here in Bountiful. Reporting from Bountiful, Kate Garner, ABC4 News.